The Lone Star Series is presented by TXU Energy. Both Rangers and Astros fans strolling into Globe Life Field tonight in Arlington, Texas, as we welcome you to Game 2 of this three-game series between the Astros and the Rangers. Here's where the playoff picture is with 23 games to go for the Astros. They are currently tied with the Mariners in first place in the AL West with a win and a Seattle loss to Cincinnati last night. The Rangers, one game back. They could be tied for first in the AL West at the end of the night, or they could be out of the playoff picture as they own just a half-game lead over the Blue Jays for the third and final wild card spot. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Todd Callis alongside Mike Stanton. Mike filling in for Jeff Blum, who is not feeling well for the last couple of days. Mike, what a wild game it was yesterday to kick off this series.
Yeah, it really was. We saw two pretty good offenses, but then we also saw the stark difference between these two teams, which is the bullpen. Rangers have really struggled. Astros bullpen's been outstanding.
Yeah, the Rangers bullpen giving it up late last night as the Astros scored a lot of runs from the sixth inning on, 10 in all.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible to watch these guys swing the bat. Driving the ball out of the ballpark, that's not something the Astros team's usually known for. It's usually getting base hits, having quality at-bats, stacking those at-bats on top of each other. But yesterday, the ball was flying here at Globe Life Field.
Dubon and Altuve with back-to-back home runs twice. And the theme this year in the Lone Star Series, the Astros have done damage against the Rangers late in games.
Well, it's been an Achilles heel for the Rangers team all year long. It's just now that we've gotten late into September, now all of a sudden that bullpen is really showing itself, and it's not showing itself in a positive manner.
So the Rangers are going with a guy who has not pitched since the middle of June, or July rather, and that's Nathan Eovaldi making his first start in 7 weeks.
And making his first start, period. He has not had any rehab starts, so it's going to be crazy to see how far he can actually go. We're predicting 60, 70 pitches, but it's really going to be up to Bruce Bochy to figure out how far they want to let Nathan go. Thing is about Nathan Eovaldi, he's going to give you everything you got. You know that.
Nathan Eovaldi against Framber Valdez. That is our pitching matchup today. The Astros, with that win last night, secured the Silver Boot for 2023. They have won the Lone Star Series. They'll try and win this series with a win tonight. Back after this. On AT&T Sportsnet is presented by TXU Energy. Houston Astros baseball is presented by Jack in the Box. If the Astros score 3 runs or more, tomorrow you score a free Jumbo Jack with a large drink purchase. And by Rooms to Go. Get one-stop shopping plus decorating made easy. That's Rooms to Go.
We welcome you back in for Game 2 of this Lone Star Series. The Astros already securing that Silver Boot. Now this club just focused on winning as many games as they can down the stretch. And when this team is on the road, the chances of them winning are very good after winning their 6th straight road win or road game last night. The offense, though, has been explosive. That's been a big story when this team has played away from home. And it's not just one guy, it's everybody. This team doing such a nice job with the offense, just passing the torch. I've heard it several times, but in their last 12 road wins, as we take a look at these video game-like numbers, 9.5 runs per game, hitting .324 as a team, 150 total hits, and they've left the yard 29 times. Several Astros in on this. Alex Bregman is a guy that's right in the middle of it as we take a closer look at him. It's our No Player Does More presented by HEB. So in those last 12 wins on the road, Breggy collecting 22 hits for himself, 1,200 OPS, and he's driven in 16. So we've seen him really come on strong here in the last couple of weeks, but in that game yesterday, TK, we saw another 4-hit game from him. He said, I'm continuing to just work and focus on the things that really helped get my timing up and to feel good at the plate. Astros would love to see more of that starting right here in just a second, TK.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch these guys play on the road with that recent winning streak. As you mentioned, Alex Bregman right in the middle of things and has very good numbers against Nathan Eovaldi in his career. Here's the lineup for Dusty Baker for the middle game of this series. Jose Altuve leading off, followed by Jeremy Pena. Yordan Alvarez back as a DH. Alex Bregman hitting 4. Kyle Tucker split up with Alvarez. You see Bregman's numbers against the Rangers this year. Jose Abreu at first base hitting 6. Chas McCormick in left field. Mauricio Dubon in center field. And Martin Maldonado, as he has for every one of Framber's 27 starts behind home plate.
And starting for the Texas Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi, 33-year-old Alvin native, still has not. This is going to be the first time he's been on the mound in a game situation since mid-July. So we're going to see how many pitches he can throw. Going to throw a fastball in the mid-high 90s, split finger fastball for a changeup, multiple breaking balls, usually in the strike zone, but not a big strikeout guy. So he's going to put the ball in. You're going to be able to put the ball in play. So hunt for those mistakes and see if you can't get to that bullpen, which has been a problem for Bruce Bochy and the Rangers.
Here is the Rangers defense behind Eovaldi tonight. Robbie Grossman making another start in left field. That is Robbie Grossman's 6th consecutive start in left. Leody Taveras in center. Adolis Garcia. A lot of outfield assists in right field. Marcus Semien on a roll defensively. A +11 outs above average. Hasn't made an error in his last 47 games. There you see the rest of the Rangers defense. Ezekiel Duran getting his first start in 3 games over at third base. Frommer, who has been going with the Navy tops for most of his career, switched to orange for 2 starts, but now back to the Navy tops as you see Jose Altuve digging in against Nathan Eovaldi. Altuve not only had a 4-hit game last night, he had 4 hits in his last 4 at-bats, including 2 home runs as he takes a pitch up for a ball, 1-0. Eovaldi facing the Astros for the 2nd time this year, pitched against them on July 1st. And then his last start coming July 18th, 7 weeks ago. How unusual is it to see a starting pitcher go 7 weeks back on the mound without a rehab appearance?
To tell you the truth, I've never seen it before. Without throwing any live hitters. Now, that doesn't mean live BP or extended bullpen sessions. But also, when was the last time we saw Jose Altuve take 3 pitches in a row to start a game?
They know he's on a limited pitch count. Yep. Bruce Bochy said before the game maybe 3 or 4 innings. And so the Astros are going to see what Eovaldi has early. Altuve hasn't seen a strike yet. There's a strike on the outside edge, says Stu Sherwater, the home plate umpire. It's 3-1.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game for the Rangers, just simply because you know Eovaldi's not going to get deep into this game, and they're going to have to go to the bullpen. Now, Dane Dunning, who is a starting pitcher.
Altuve on a 3-1 pitch, delivers high and deep. Altuve hits his 3rd home run in his last 5 at-bats. 5 for his last 5 with 3 home runs, and he starts the night off with a big swing for the Astros.
Well, Nathan Eovaldi starts off with 3 fastballs out of the zone and then throws 1 too many. Throws a strike, and on the 5th fastball in a row, Altuve takes him way back into left field.
Jose Altuve, have yourself a series. That's 3 home runs in his last 4 at-bats and a 5-for-5 stretch with 3 home runs. Now Jeremy Pena. Pena goes after the first pitch. He'll single into center field. And the Astros are off and racing on a Tuesday night.
All right, here is our Mattress Firm Super Mo. Fastball up and out over the plate. We know that Jose Altuve, when he is right, he hammers the ball up in the zone. And that was a mistake by Eovaldi. Didn't want to walk Jose. Well, maybe he should have.
And then Pena picking on the first pitch he saw. So the Astros already with a couple of hits against Eovaldi, just 2 batters in. He did not allow a run against the Astros in his last start over 7 innings, only allowed 2 hits in 7 innings. Obviously, this is a guy just coming off the IL, as Yordan Alvarez, who has great numbers, as you can see, against Eovaldi, digs in. He's 7 for 10 with 3 doubles and a home run.
That's not gaudy, is it?
And that's with Eovaldi at his peak. Because
Right.
the Astros have seen Eovaldi at his best before. He hadn't allowed much to them in his last 2 starts, but tonight we're not sure what Nathan Eovaldi we're getting. It's 1-1 to Yordan.
Well, we talked about it just a minute ago. Eovaldi's gonna throw strikes. He uses his fastball quite a bit, and we know Yordan likes to go up the middle opposite field with right-handed pitchers.
That one down and in, 2-1. Eovaldi was one of the candidates for American League Cy Young at the time of his injury. He was really having a good season.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the big reasons why the Rangers actually started struggling. The rotation was always a little questionable. The bullpen's been an issue, but this is such a good offensive team. They kind of just made up for it.
That ball through on the right side. Third consecutive hit for the Astros. They now have more hits tonight than they had in 7 innings against Eovaldi on July 1st.
All right, we're going to take a look at this pitch on our MD Anderson strike zone. Pitch on the outside corner is a changeup, split finger fastball out in front just a little bit, but so big, so strong. If he gets the barrel of the bat on the ball, it's going to be hit pretty hard. And just yet another hit off of Eovaldi. What does that make him? 8 for 11 now?
8 for 11 in his career against Nathan Eovaldi.
Wow.
And now Eovaldi meeting up with Jonah Heim, getting a new baseball here to face Alex Bregman. Bregman not quite as good as Jordan, but his numbers very healthy against Nathan Eovaldi. 8 for 18, including a home run and a couple of runs batted in.
Alex, another very good high ball hitter. There's not very many of them in Major League Baseball. The Astros got a couple.
First and second, still nobody out. And Bregman goes after the first pitch and chops one slowly to third. He'll make the play to second. They'll get Jordan there. But that ball was chopped too high to have any chance for a double play. It'll be first and third with 1 out now.
That might have been a rare sinker from Nate Eovaldi. He doesn't throw very many of them, looking to get that ground ball. Nice play by Duran to keep the double play in play here, getting the runner at second.
Well, now Kyle Tucker in the middle of that 13-6 win last night. The Astros did not have any RBIs from Alvarez or Tucker. They had an RBI from everybody else in the lineup. So Tuck's still sitting at 99 right now, but he's got a great opportunity here to hit the century mark. Pena on third base, Bregman on first with 1 out, and a first pitch that could have been off the plate, but called a strike. It's 0-1.
First pitch split finger fastball, never really got back to the plate.
Tuck takes that one low for a ball. It's 1-1. Tucker has a 16-game hitting streak going at Globe Life Field, hitting .410 during that stretch, and has 21 RBIs in those 16 games with 6 home runs. That one's in, 2-1. Tucker picked up his 99th RBI in the game Sunday night, the only run the Astros scored in the 6-1 loss to the Yankees. But this might as well be the place other than Minute Maid Park where he finds his 100th RBI as well as he has hit here. Down and in, 3-1 the count. So Eovaldi, who fell behind Altuve, the first batter, now falling behind Tucker on an RBI situation.
Yeah, I think Nate has looked at the back of the baseball card, looked at exactly what Tuck has been doing this year. He wants no part of him right here.
Jose Abreu is on deck.
Started him with 2 changeups.
That's off the plate, and even that first pitch, which was called a strike, wasn't really a strike.
It wasn't on the plate. There was another changeup right there. So yeah, Nate wants to take his chances against Abreu. Tucker been destroying the ball with runners in scoring position this year.
Mike Maddox already making a call as Tucker draws his 68th walk of the season. Eovaldi in his first game back after a 7-week layoff, no rehab assignment, throwing a lot of pitches here in the first inning as Jose Abreu bats and grounds a foul behind Jeremy Pena. Abreu batted yesterday with the bases loaded and drew a walk for an RBI. That gave the Astros a 6-5 lead in the 7th inning. Also batted with the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 5th and grounded out to end that inning. Down in the count here, 0-2 as he misses the curveball. Abreu on the year, 2 for 14 with the bases loaded. Does have a couple of sac flies this season. And a ball towards short. Nice play by Seager. Has trouble getting it out. And that's going to be a fielder's choice. They might have had a double play. Instead, they get the out at second base. Or is Tucker safe too? He's not leaving the bag. It's a run scored either way. It's 2-0, but they could have had a double play. Tuck is out at second. And Abreu reaches on the RBI fielder's choice.
Yeah, here's that play. Abreu with the off-balance swing. Seager's had a tough time already in the 2 games of this series. He had the big error last night. That was a very close play at second base. Him sticking with it and getting to Simeon.
So now Chas McCormick will bat. Chas, a big night last night. He starts out tonight with an RBI base hit into left center. 3-0 Astros. McCormick drives in his 62nd run of the year and continues that hitting streak up to 7 games.
Chas picked on the curveball. He's done such a good job of keeping the bat in the zone a long time. And that's what allowed him to get this ball into left center field for the RBI. 2-out hits. They are just devastating to your opponents.
Chas had struggled against Eovaldi before that RBI hit. He was 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts before. And now adds an RBI single. The bullpen going early for the Rangers. Dane Dunning already loosening up here in the first inning. As Mauricio Dubon getting the start again in center field, fouls one back. It's 1-1. There is Dunning. We expected to see him at some point tonight. Just weren't sure it would be this early.
Bruce Bochy was hoping about the 4th or 5th inning. But at this point, Nate gets through 2. That might be a pretty good start for him.
22 pitches in. The Astros with 3 runs on 4 hits. And that one's down and away, 2-1. So in all your years, you have not heard of a starter going that long without at least a rehab appearance before he came into a big league game.
I'm going to make a bold statement. No, never.
It's interesting because, you know, you can only simulate so much in a bullpen session. As Dubon fouls one away, it's 2-2.
And the biggest problem is intensity. Now, whether you're doing a long bullpen or you're throwing live batting practice, there's still no intensity there. And you feel differently. Your location is different. Your breaking balls are different. And so he's going out there in a way just kind of naked.
Mike Stanton joining us in the booth. Second all-time in games pitched in MLB history. A lot of pitching knowledge watching the Astros go to work here against Nathan Eovaldi. 2-2 pitches away. It's 3-2. Martin Maldonado waits on deck as this long inning continues for the Rangers and Nathan Eovaldi. 25 pitches in, just 13 strikes delivered. And we'll see another one. How about Dubon's night last night?
Wow.
Dubon with a 2-home run game for the first time in his career. And he went back-to-back with Altuve. That's only happened one time in Astros history where they went back-to-back twice in the same game.
And first time in Major League Baseball history, 9-hole, 1-hole.
Dubon shoots one to center, playable for Leody Taveras, and that'll do it for the Astros. But a good first inning. Astros put a 3 spot on the board and give Framber Valdez an early 3-0 lead.
29-year-old left-hander Framber Valdez starting for the Astros has had a shaky second half. Actually, it's been hot and cold. Do a no-hitter, did a lot of great things, but he's also struggled at times. Mostly sinker curveball, very unique arsenal he attacks the opposing hitters with. Also throws a cutter and a changeup. But it's going to be about, to me, what's really going on with Framber, it's his sinker command. That's the pitch that's actually been getting hit the most. And he has a tendency to pull it into right-handers. He needs to keep it away from them to the arm side of the plate. That's where he's going to get his best movement.
He'll see 4 right-handers in the lineup tonight for the Rangers. Led off by Marcus Semien, right-handed hitting second baseman. He has led off every game this year for the Rangers. Corey Seager and Nathaniel Lowe, a couple of lefties behind him. Then you've got a couple of righties back-to-back, and Adolis Garcia and Mitch Garver. Robbie Grossman, a switch hitter, as is Jonah Heim in that 7th spot. Ezekiel Duran gets a start at third base, hitting 8th, and Leody Taveras rounds out Bruce Bochy's lineup. Fromber getting ahead of Semien 0-2. Marcus Semien had a good game against Fromber on July 26th. Single. He was hit by a pitch that got things kind of going back and forth between these two teams. Then he hit a home run in his 3rd plate appearance. As Fromber only lasted 3 2/3 innings in that game against the Rangers in his last start and gave up 6 runs. Trying to bounce back against them tonight and has 3 runs to work with as he misses low for a ball. It's 2-2. See the numbers for Semien against Fromber. A couple of home runs and 3 runs batted, and he has struck out 7 times in those 28 at bats against the Astros lefty. And he fouls that one back, stays 2-2.
So the reason I said Fromber has a unique arsenal, there's just not very many pitchers that have a heavy sinking fastball and elite curveball. And what makes his curveball elite is he's got incredible spin rate, sometimes over 3,000 RPMs, which is, just to give reference, you know, major league average curveball is somewhere in about the 2,500 RPM range.
And then he throws this changeup, which has become a big weapon for him lately.
It has. He's tried to use more than just the 2 pitches, but he's actually, in my opinion, he's actually gotten trouble when he goes, well, mostly to the cutter. The changeup is still a good pitch for him.
There is the cutter, getting a foul ball from Corey Seager. It's 0-1. Corey had a big game last night, a couple of home runs for the Texas Rangers. He has more home runs than anybody in the American League since the start of August, up to 13 since August 1st. Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. Chas McCormick is retrieving that foul ball. He's in left field tonight with Mauricio Dubon in center and Kyle Tucker in right. Same infield alignment. Alex Bregman, Jeremy Pena left side. The 2 Jose's on the right side. Altuve and Abreu, and Martin Maldonado getting the start behind the plate. Seager giving them an early lead last night with a 2-run home run. Also gave them a lead again in the 5th inning with a solo home run. He ended up the night 3 for 5. One of the 2 times he was retired, he lined out to Abreu.
Yeah, he picked on 2 fastballs from JP France. The first one was exactly where they wanted to throw it. It was inside, up just a little bit, and Corey just beat him to the spot. And the second one was up, out, over the plate, which in his post-game sound, JP said that's where he was going. But Seager, what an incredible season this dude's having.
If it wasn't for Shohei, this guy would certainly have a chance at the MVP, as this one is down and in. And that's another swinging strike for Fromber. Back-to-back strikeouts for Valdez, getting Semien and Seager to start this game.
There's that big 2-seam fastball. He gets it in on Corey Seager. You can see the run. That ball starts on the corner and then just runs off hard and isn't really that far off his back thigh. Corey Seager with a full swing and really nowhere close to that pitch.
That was a great look at how much that ball ran. Now a chopper towards Abreu. Jose taking it himself. It'll beat the opposing first baseman to the bag. Quite a start for Fromber and the Astros. A 1-2-3 first, a couple of strikeouts, and an unassisted put out on the ground out. Toyota, how about back-to-back home runs twice in the same game? First time in Major League history, the 9-hitter and the 1-hitter combined to go back-to-back in home runs twice. It's never happened before in the game of baseball.
And Mauricio Dubon called it.
What?
He told Jose that they were going to go back-to-back.
Twice?
Didn't call twice.
Yeah, I was going to say he called something that's never happened.
That actually would be a pretty bold prediction since no one's ever done it 9-hole, 1-hole in the lineup.
Altuve will bat second, now batting behind Martin Maldonado tonight as Maldi digs in there to start the second inning. Maldonado has had good numbers against Eovaldi as well, 5 for 14 in his career. You can see them at the bottom of your screen. Playing in game number 101 on the season is Maldonado. As Eovaldi starts the second inning, he's got the bullpen still going with Dane Dunning warming up as the inning begins.
I was going to touch on him a little while ago. He's actually a starting pitcher, so it's not a big deal. Now, him coming in the middle of an inning might be a bigger deal since he's used to starting.
StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, will show us Jose Altuve's home run to lead off the game. He got into this one in the left center field.
Yeah, that is a well-struck baseball, 406 feet. The launch angle or the exit velocity up there pretty good. Got on top of that high fastball.
Altuve 5 hits in his last 5 at-bats in this series, with 3 home runs in his last 4 at-bats. Altuve now 4 career home runs against Nathan Eovaldi in 37 career at-bats. He's 10 for 37 with 4 solo home runs.
It's really been remarkable to see what Jose has done coming off the IL. We were just talking about Eovaldi not having any rehab. Jose didn't either. And to tell you the truth, his timing has been impeccable, and I think that's his biggest issue. There's times that he gets a little early and he'll jump at the pitch, but since he's come off the IL, I mean, he's used the whole field. He's driven the ball out of the ballpark. He's taken pitches. I mean, he really has been calm at the plate.
He's been patient tonight. 2 3-0 counts so far. Last time he hit a 3-1 pitch out. This time he goes after the 3-0 pitch and chops a foul.
Nate learned his lesson on the first time. That was the 3-0 changeup.
How about that? Greg Biggio and Lance Berkman, the only other Astros to hit back-to-back home runs twice in one game. They did that July 25th of 2005. Altuve sends one into left center field. This one well struck. Back goes Taveras. It's gone again. He's done it again. 4 home runs in 5 at-bats. Are you kidding me, Tuve?
This time he picks on a breaking ball, a 3-1 breaking ball. Then I have a feeling Jose was kind of looking for it, and that's going to be it for Nathan Eovaldi.
2 3-1 pitches sent out by 27, who is on a heater.
I want you to notice the location. That was mid-thigh right down the middle, which basically a slider turns into a BP fastball.
Nathan Eovaldi's night is over, and Jose Altuve is having an unbelievable series back after this. Dane Dunning, the new pitcher for the Rangers, has missed with the first pitch to Jeremy Pena as he takes over here 10 batters into the game. Little tapper up the middle. Seager will try and barehand. He'll do so nicely, and Pena still beats it out. Call at first base by the crew chief. Mark Wegner is safe on a bang-bang play at first.
Really good hustle by Jeremy Pena. You know, a lot of times when you get jammed like that, you don't get out of the box. Jeremy actually got out pretty well. Seager makes a nice play with the bare hand and makes a good throw to first base.
No challenge. Jeremy Pena 2 for 2. He continues to like hitting that second spot.
Todd, that's called a big league hit.
So now Yordan Alvarez will bat. Yordan skies one to center field, way up in the air. He got under this one, as Leody Taveras has to wait a while for it to come down for the first out. What do you have on Dane Dunning?
Well, this is going to be his last 21 appearances, actually been as a starting pitcher. Now, this is something that, you know, they were planning on doing. They were just hoping, the Rangers were just hoping it was going to be later in the game. Doesn't throw really hard, throws a lot of sinkers, averages low 90s. It's going to be a slider, cutter, change, maybe an occasional curveball. Really just mixes it up, tries to keep the hitters off balance. Not great stuff, but can throw multiple pitches for strikes. That's what helps him be effective.
So he was just going to the second base umpire, Malachi Moore, there and showing him something on his hand. And whatever he showed him, he seemed to be okay with it. Here is Alex Bregman. Bregman takes one down for a ball, 1-0. Bregman reached on a fielder's choice and scored his team-leading 90th run his first time up. Nathan Eovaldi knocked out after an inning and a third, and Bregman sends one over the head of Duran into left field. Pena thought about trying to go first to third, but he'll hold up at second base. The Astros with their third hit of the inning. Alex Bregman continues to roll along.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Astros they're not hitting everything hard, but my goodness, they're finding outfield grass. This ball is it's a sinker inside off the plate, and it jams Alex. But Alex strong enough, hit the ball off the label, get it over the third baseman Duran. Didn't get down into the left field corner, but Astros first and second.
Bregman now 5 for 6 in this series after going 4 for 4 last night with a walk. And here's Kyle Tucker again with a chance to get to 100 RBIs. I feel like we've said that a few times over the past few games. Tucker walked his first time up, didn't get much to hit against Nathan Eovaldi. Now he faces Dane Dunning with a 1-0 count. Tried to hold up on a pitch up, goes too far. It's 1-1. Tucker's 4 for 11 in his career against Dunning. That does include a solo home run. Pena on second, Bregman on first with 2 outs. That one was not called a strike by Stu Sherwater. Probably could have been. Instead, it's a 2-1 count for Tuck. Tuck had one called against him off the plate his first AB. Tucker reaches out and fouls off that changeup, and now the count evens. Tucker starting the night second in the AL, 1 RBI behind Adolis Garcia for the American League lead. Checks his swing, pitch did miss by much. Dunning wanted either a swing or the call, didn't get either, and now the count's full. So any base hit now with the runners off should give Tuck his 100th run batted in on the year. And he holds up on a pitch up, and no swing. That'll load him up for the second straight time for Jose Abreu. Abreu batting for the 4th time in this series with the bases loaded. He has 2 RBIs in this series, 1 on a bases loaded walk last night and 1 on a bases loaded fielder's choice earlier tonight. Takes the first pitch in, 1-0.
So that was the 2nd time in 2 innings that the Texas Rangers pitchers just seem like they're pitching around Kyle Tucker. They just don't want any part of Tuck.
It's tough to get your 100th RBI if you don't see any pitches to hit. Tuck drawing his 2 walks so far tonight. Abreu tried to check his swing but goes too far, 1-1. Pena, Bregman, and Tucker, your base runners. 1-1 the count to Jose Abreu. Ground ball sharply hit into left center field. 2 more runs are going to score. Tucker's going to head to third. Astros with 3 more runs this inning lead it 6-0.
Astros just putting together great at-bats. Hanging slider from Dunning. Corey Seager playing in the hole. Not even close enough that he can dive and knock that down for 2 2-out RBIs for Jose Abreu.
So 3 runs batted in for Abreu tonight, 4 in the series, and now Chas McCormick, who singled his first time up, sends this one to Seager, and he'll play it to Simeon to end the inning. But the Astros, who sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning, sent 8 more to the plate in the second inning, scoring 3 runs both innings, and they lead this game 6-0.
Chevy Stropole. Question today, which Astros up-and-comer is most likely to have the biggest postseason impact? Is it Yainer Diaz, Mauricio Dubon, or Chas McCormick? Put your votes in. We'll have results later. TK.
All right, Julia, bottom of the second inning. Framber Valdez now working with a 6-run cushion as he'll face Adolis Garcia to lead off the inning. Framber had a very strong first inning, striking out 2 and getting a ground out, only needing 12 pitches to get through the first, and now he's 0-2 on Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, the best thing that Framber's doing right now is those strikes. He's got such good stuff. That's all he really needs to do most of the time.
Garcia 6 for 26 against Framber with a solo home run. Lately, Adolis has been battling it. He has, in his last 16 starts, 17 games overall, gone 11 for 69. That's a 159 average. He does have 4 home runs of his 11 hits, including a walk-off on Sunday to salvage a game against the Minnesota Twins. But he has 29 strikeouts and just 4 walks in those games. Puts this one in play, and he hits it to Altuve. Altuve, a little snow cone action and a low throw, but Abreu's able to make the play, and that's the first out. It is a Tuesday, which means it's Social Tuesday presented by Champion Energy. So if you have any thoughts on the Lone Star Series, on the Astros playoff push in the month of September, got Mike Stanton in the booth, who's generally not here on a Social Tuesday. So whatever your topic that you want, go ahead and ask us at ATT Sportsnet SW. Use the hashtag Stros Tuesday for your posts, and we will read some of your statements, questions, or thoughts during the course of tonight's broadcast. You ready, Mike?
Yes, yes, I am absolutely ready.
Fan interaction night. Here's Mitch Garver with a swinging strike. Framber throwing that changeup a little bit. It's 0-2.
Sorry, I got caught up watching Framber's mechanics.
What do you like with it?
You know, he's made a little adjustment.
There's a ball into left center field. That'll be the first base runner. Mitch Garver's been as hot as anybody in this Rangers lineup, not named Corey Seager.
So the adjustment that I think he's made, he's tried to correct a little bit of his direction. And there's times that he almost looks like he opens up, meaning when he takes his step with his left leg, he kind of steps towards the first base side. And I think that's one of the reasons why he pulls the ball onto the plate instead of leaves it arm side to get that big run. That base hit right there, that was a pitch that was right down, but it was right down the middle that was supposed to be down and away.
Framber, when he prepares for every start, will draw a line from that third base side of the rubber directly straight to home plate. It might be a little bit more obscure now than it is in the first inning, but it kind of helps him stay in line to home plate.
Yeah, it gives him a reference point. And it's one of those things, a lot of pitchers do it because you're always, it doesn't matter how long you pitch, every pitcher is always battling his mechanics all the time. And that's just something that Framber does to try and give himself a little bit better chance of repeating that stride.
Bobby Grossman, the batter. Grossman has hit very well right-handed this year, hitting .320 right-handed, .236 overall. You can see his numbers against Framber. Grossman fouls another way. It's 2-2.
You know, Robbie coming up as an Astro, he's actually played a long time now.
Yep.
He's been around for a while. Many teams. You know, just a good all-round player.
Seeing a lot more starts in the outfield lately. Travis Jankowski had been out there a lot in the first half of the season. This ball hit sharply, but gobbled up by Bregman. Now Altuve for one. The turn and a double play. Framber Valdez, best friend, the double play ground ball hit sharply by Grossman, but the Astros infield turns 2. We head to the third. Astros 6.
In this one, and it's time for the Dugout Report presented by Jack in the Box. If you want hits, all you got to do is grab one of these Good thing Mauricio Dubon has a lot of extra bats, even gave me one to use for this story. That's because several players are using Dubon's bat right now. Doobie's actually swinging his own bat. Got him a couple of home runs yesterday. Yordan Alvarez, as we know, has been swinging his bat for a while. He actually started when he was trying to get himself out of a tough stretch. And then Jeremy Pena, guys, is now swinging a Doobie bat as well. As we know, he's been red hot at the plate. Couple of hits for him yesterday. So that is the secret.
Well, I guess the question is, did he give you that bat, or is he letting you borrow that at bat? Because it seems like it's made of gold.
Yeah, you're right. I probably have to go back. In fact, I have 2 hits since picking it up.
There you go.
Bat flipping going on down here. And there's more to it. This is just the one. Well, see, there you go.
Doobie, who lined out his first time up, has a base hit here to start the 3rd inning. Pena's already 2 for 2 with a Dubon bat. So, Julia, it's basically a good luck thing at this point?
Yeah, I think so. You know what's fun, I was going to say, is that there's more to it. There's more guys that are actually switching out bats right now. We know Jose Altuve was borrowing Yiner's bat. I mean, it's a fun story with this club, and it's kind of who they are. But it's really fun to see their reaction when they have some success at the plate, what the guys do in the dugout, knowing they're using each other's bats.
So are you actually saying that ball players are a little superstitious?
Oh. Do I even have to say it?
Whatever bat Altuve is using right now, let's stick with that.
No kidding.
Keep it.
Let's stick with that one. 3 home runs in 3 at-bats, 4 home runs in 5 at-bats. He's due up next. Maldonado cranks one to left. Maldi gets into the hit party. 2-run blast to left. And the Astros now lead 8-0. Jumped into the booth for a hit show tonight.
What a nice swing by Maldonado, picking on another kind of hanging slider from Dane Dunning and keeping it fair down the left field line. You know, you don't get a whole lot of hits from Martin, but you know, he drives the ball out of the ballpark pretty well.
Home run number 12 on the year for Maldi. And now Altuve, who has a home run in 3 consecutive at-bats, takes a pitch at the top of the zone for a strike. 0-1. Maldonado hitting his 13th. Altuve has hit his 13th. Excuse me, Maldonado hitting his 12th. Altuve has hit his 13th and his 14th tonight. And now he sends one to center field. That'll send Taveras back. Could it be 4 in a row? 4 in a row for Altuve. 5 and 6 at bats. The legend continues to grow.
Absolutely incredible.
He batted in the 9th inning yesterday. He has hit a home run in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings today. He has 4 home runs in the last 4 innings.
And not a cheapie among any of them. I mean, these balls are driven. This was a cutter out over the plate, and he goes straight away center where the big boys go to die.
Four straight home runs, a new franchise record. It's his second 3-home run game, his first in the regular season. He has done this in 3 innings. And he batted in the 9th last night and hit a home run.
Wow.
So since the 6th inning of last night's game, that's 7 innings of baseball, he has hit 5 home runs in 7 innings of baseball.
I can't even think about it. It's making me sweat thinking about trying to pitch to it.
Yeah, this is not a good game for a pitcher.
Well, at least
you're on the good side.
The Rangers pitcher.
Yeah, you're on the good side of the analyst chair tonight. 9-0. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Still nobody out in the inning. Astros fans who have made the trek up north are having a great time here in Arlington.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here, and it's just kind of a stunned silence.
There's a little like a murmur.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of weird.
Like people can't believe what they're watching. Now Pena bidding for his 3rd hit, but Simeon has other ideas as he plays that one up the middle for the first out of the inning.
Martin Maldonado, you can see the spin and look at the location. People need to understand it's not so much about what the pitch is, it's the location. It's just like real estate. Location, location, location. See? Up, out over the plate. And the way Altuve's swinging, he's just not going to miss a pitch that is in the strike zone.
Now Jordan hits one off the end of the bat to center field. He'll carry the bat with him. That's Mauricio's bat. He doesn't want to do any damage to that by leaving it at home plate. We heard Julia earlier telling us the story that Jordan and Pena using the Mauricio Dubon bat. That's the second out of the inning. How about this game?
Good night.
My goodness. So the distances on the last Altuve home run. I mean, you said none of them have been cheapies. As Bregman takes a pitch off the plate for a ball. Altuve has hit them 398, 406, and 426. The last one was the furthest at 426.
Yeah, and then Martin Maldonado was 105, 25-degree launch angle, 394. But that was right down the line.
No Astro ever hitting home runs in 4 straight at bats. Ever.
I mean, who else would it be?
Franchise started in 1962. There's a strike to Bregman. It's 3-1. And this is a point of the game, too, on the other side. If you're Bruce Bochy, you don't really have many options. You almost have to hang with Dunning as long as you can go at this point. It's 9-0. Bregman sends this one to short. Seager will backhand and make a play, and that'll do it for the Astros. But for the third straight inning, they score 3 runs. And for the third straight inning, Jose Altuve hits a home run. It is 9-0 Houston.
Framber Valdez facing the Rangers for the first time season here. He was dealing with some minor injuries the last time the club was in Arlington, so they skipped him. Hated missing a chance to pitch in this ballpark, though, with the numbers that he's posted in his last 3 starts in this ballpark. You see that 1.71 ERA over those 3 starts, averaging 7 innings deep in those 3. Big start, though, today for the left-hander. Mike, I want to set you up for this, because that last start against this team, it was at home, but it did not sit well for him. He said not acceptable for him to struggle against a division opponent like that. So came in with that mindset, that frame of mind.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing for Framber. You know, Framber is a guy that he doesn't necessarily pitch with a lot of visible emotions unless he gets really upset. But you like Framber with the chip on his shoulder. And, you know, when he does not like his outings, he's going to just work that much harder and grind a little bit more to try and get that lineup out.
How about Jonah Heim? Hadn't had an at-bat as a right-handed hitter since July 26th. That also came against Framber Valdez. The last time he hit righty, he's been dealing with a strained wrist tendon that did not allow him to hit anything but lefty since coming off the IL. And tonight's his first game batting right-handed, and he has a hit in his first right-handed at-bat.
Jeremy Pena's last at-bat, the first pitch he actually fouled off and actually took a bite out of Jonah Heim. He actually had to take his glove off. So even though he got the base hit, still probably feeling a little pain.
Heim will advance 90 feet on that pitch that gets away. Ezekiel Duran getting a start today. Hasn't started the last couple of games. Josh Smith has been the starting third baseman.
You could see that serious sink by Framber, 96 miles an hour, fastball in the dirt. And Duran actually taking a full hack at it like it was in the strike zone. That's just the over-aggression of Duran, but also the great movement from Framber on his fastball.
Pitch up, 2-1. Well, Framber now working with a 9-0 cushion.
Yeah, the approach has to be, this is a 0-0 game. Just continue to pound the zone, stay within yourself, and use that great stuff.
There goes part of the bat. Jeremy Pena will make the play. Duran getting down the line nicely, but he's thrown out for the first out.
Bring the Astros to college with you using MLB.tv. Receive a free subscription to MLB.tv when you attend a game. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
So it is a Astros Tuesday, a social Tuesday here. This one tapped towards first. Should be an easy play for Abreu. He can just step on the bag as soon as he picks it up, which he does. That one literally off the end of the bat for Taveras for the second out. So we'll just get to one maybe here. It is a social Tuesday. Use the hashtag Astros Tuesday for us to find your post at ATT Sports at SW. Jimmy Randolph wants to know, what's the difference, Mike, between a forkball and a split finger fastball? He says good job in relief, and get well, Blummer.
All right, so a split finger fastball, what allows a pitch when you throw it at velocity to sink is the lack of spin rate. It means the ball just isn't spinning as fast as a fastball. So a split finger fastball is just that. You throw it like a fastball, you split your fingers apart, it slips through your fingers, and that allows the ball to kind of slow the rotation. Now a forkball, you actually get even deeper, and then the ball tumbles out of your hand. So it's not very many guys actually throw forkballs. They're really hard on your arm, and they're extremely hard to control. But split finger fastballs have really became a big pitch. I'm going to say late 80s, early 90s. A lot of the Mets pitchers, they were throwing split finger. You know, Ron Darling, guys like that. That's really when it became in vogue.
Yeah, Bruce Sutter, one of the originators.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use that splitter as kind of a change-up off their fastball.
That's what I did. I got short, fat fingers. So I couldn't get the same velocity, you know, so I actually threw a split change. So I threw a change-up, and that was just the grip that I used. But you had guys, you know, like, Roger Clemens, one of the best ever in a split finger fastball. But he was able to throw it with velocity just a few miles an hour off the fastball.
First walk allowed by Valdez as he walks Marcus Semien. Got to put two runners on here with two outs. Single to start the inning, a pass ball to advance Heim, and then a couple of ground outs and a walk. And now Fromber will face Corey Seager, who struck out swinging his first time up.
And you can see Fromber getting a little irritated with himself with that two-out walk. But this is the time that Fromber got to take a deep breath. This is where the pitch clock might come in and be a little bit of an issue. Because we've seen Fromber last year, he would take a step back, take a deep breath. He had a little bit of time and get back within himself. With the pitch clock now, you just simply don't have that much time to do it.
You can see him looking at the clock as he took his time getting back on the rubber. But you're right, his time to regroup has changed dramatically. Now he gets ahead of Seager 0-2. He's take a walk around the mound and.
Oh yeah, take his, play with his hat a little bit, whatever it may be. But you can see he was swinging his arms back and forth. He was not happy with himself with that two-out walk.
Well, you never want to put extra runners on in front of this guy. Corey Seager has been very good this year, but down in the count here 0-2. And Fromber strikes him out for the second time tonight, getting Seager swinging to end the inning. That's 3 strikeouts for Fromber Valdez, and the Astros lead 9-0.
This Friday, 10,000 fans, wow, will leave Minute Maid Park with a Kyle Tucker lifestyle bobblehead presented by PNC. Get your tickets today at astros.com/promotion. What?
Man, he's looking dapper.
What are these photos?
Stay with it, Julia. Keep going.
I was not ready for the GQ photo shoot right there. Oh,
that's what the bobble is all about, right? Lifestyle.
No, it is. And he has style. He's right there.
Julie, you remember when he first got called up?
I do.
That skinny.
Remember when he got drafted?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How about Tuck dropping one into left field in front of Robbie Grossman. Kyle Tucker's on base for a third time. A couple of walks and now a leadoff single here in the 4th inning. That's a dozen hits for the Astros. Yes. All-Star red carpet show. That was last year's All-Star game.
Yeah, Lance McCullers Jr. helping out as the stylist.
Future's so bright, he's got to wear shades.
Oh, this is great. No, he knows.
Just
what
hanging out. He's just hanging out right here.
He's an all-star.
He is. Tuck bobblehead. Got to get it. Here's Jose Abreu. 3 RBIs already for Abreu. Fielder's choice with the bases loaded and a base hit with the bases loaded. Dane Dunning in his second full inning of work came on after 2 batters in the second. So the first 4 runs were charged to Nathan Eovaldi. The last 5 runs charged to Dane Dunning. Astros scoring 3 runs in each of the first 3 innings. Jose Altuve's already got 3 home runs. That's the 16th time in Astros history that a player has hit 3 home runs in a game. Nobody's ever hit 4 home runs in a game, and we still have 6 innings of baseball remaining. That one on the ground, backhanded nicely by Seager to second for 1, and they turn a double play. Actually, that's a new shortstop. That is not Corey Seager. That's Josh Smith. So Seager's already out of the game here in the 4th inning with a lopsided score. Josh Smith does a nice job starting that double play. What do you have for us, Mike?
All right, so we're going to talk about that split finger to a forkball comparison. In a split finger fastball, a regular fastball you hold, you just split them apart a little bit, and when you release it, the ball just kind of slips out of your fingers. The forkball, you get really deep in your fingers, and the ball comes out tumbling. That's why it's so hard to control. A split finger fastball is much more easier to control because it's closer to your fastball. Forkball's also much slower, but it's one of those things. There's just not a lot of guys throw forkball. The one teammate that I can remember, Mike Bilecki. Remember back in the day,
sure.
Cubs came over to Atlanta in the early 90s. He actually threw a forkball that at times knuckled. It would actually come out like a knuckleball.
So you're gripping that just off the seams, parallel with the seams of the small side. Yeah.
I mean, there's some guys like to put a finger on a seam or something like that to try and spin the ball a little bit more or get a spin direction. But yeah, like I said, short, fat fingers. So, mine was just more of a changeup. I threw mine probably in the low 80s, like a regular changeup would be.
Now Chas McCormick bats with a 3-2 count. Bases are cleared with 2 outs. Chas has singled in a run and also bounced into a fielder's choice. And that'll be ball 4. Chas on for a second time tonight. So in this big series for the Rangers, they've already taken out their starting shortstop, Corey Seager, who's been as hot as anybody in baseball since August. Just knowing the score is what it is, and they're in the midst of trying to stay strong here in the month of September.
So the key for Fromber and the Astros pitching staff is to make sure that Seager coming out doesn't matter. That there's not an at-bat later in the game that Seager would come up. So the way Fromber, I like the way Fromber stayed within himself that last half inning. Got out of the inning even though he got a little bit frustrated.
Mauricio Dubon will bat. Dubon hits one high and deep. If it stays fair, it's 2 runs. It's hooking foul. Just foul down the left field line. Dubon looking for his 3rd home run in the last 2 nights. And an Astros fan catches that deep foul ball.
It is really cool to see a guy's confidence grow. If you remember when he started that hitting streak way back at the beginning of the season, he hit everything to the opposite field. The pull field didn't exist. And we're seeing him spin on the ball. I mean, that pitch might not have been a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Now Dunning will make this play as he lobs it to first to get Dubon. And the Rangers fans give a nice cheer to their first shutout inning of the game. It's 9-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th. It is a Social Tuesday. Every Tuesday we take your questions, thoughts, post with the hashtag Astros Tuesday on @ATT Sportsnet SW. A couple that are directed to Mike Stan tonight as he is filling in for Jeff Lum, who is under the weather here during the series in Arlington. Bry 77008 wants to know, what's your favorite baseball movie, Mike?
My favorite baseball movie would be Sandlot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one that if it comes on, I'm going to watch it. And who knows how many dozens of times I've actually watched that movie.
Jared wants to know, does a long offensive half inning affect the starting pitcher?
Oh, it can absolutely affect a starting pitcher. And the reason that is because you kind of lose your focus. You know, you're used to pitching, going out there every, 10 or 12 minutes. You score a couple runs, something like that. Maybe you get a little bit longer. But when you get those 20, 25-minute innings, you kind of just lose it. And that's one of the things you have to really work on in your warm-ups, is to try and get that focus, get loose again, and get that focus back where it needs to be. I said it earlier, Fromber's got to look at this game. This is a nothing ball game. This is 0-0. And I like the fact that he got frustrated with himself last inning, just simply because he wasn't doing what he wants to do, regardless of the score being 9-0.
Jeremy Pena shaded towards the middle of the diamond, helps out on Nathaniel Lowe's ball up the middle as he makes the play for out number 1. Along those same lines, when you talked about intensity levels for Nathaniel Eovaldi in a bullpen session versus pitching for real for the first time. For you as a reliever who was used to either setting up or closing in tight games, 1-run game, 2-run games, we saw Hector Neris yesterday pitch up 6. We rarely see Hector Neris pitch in a 6-run game. This ball popped in the air to right field. For you, if you came into a game for whatever reason where they just needed an inning and the game was a 4 or bigger lead, was it different than the intensity you felt in a 1 or a 2-run game? You
try not to have that difference in intensity, but sometimes there is. I mean, I know when I left New York and I went and played for the Washington Nationals. It was the first year they were in D.C. They had just moved from Montreal, and they were actually a first-place team. And there was nobody there. I mean, we're talking 1,500 people. RFK was a brutal stadium.
After you played at packed houses your whole career?
For most of the last decade, because I played for the Yankees. Then I went to the Mets, and then went back to the Yankees. And I had not necessarily focus issue, but intensity issues. Okay. That it seemed like it was a spring training game. And so that was something that every pitcher has to go through at some point.
That was at the old RFK?
Oh, my gosh. That stadium was so brutal. It's down next to the river, pretty close to downtown Washington, D.C., but it's in a hole. So there's no wind, there's no air. They kind of just threw the team in. They really didn't prep the stadium. It was dirty. It was
football stadium that became a baseball stadium.
And it seemed like it sat for a long time, and they just kind of threw the baseball team in there.
1-2 pitches popped high in the air. Well, Fromber is pitching well with his 9-0 lead. He's going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning as Tucker retires Garcia and Garver to end the inning. Fromber rolling along. Astros are 2. It's 9-0 heading to the 5th. TNT Sportsnet is presented by Arctic. Elevate your game with Arctic Outdoors line of premium coolers, drinkware, and more. Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. By Champion Energy. Switch to Champion Energy for no surprise charges and no hidden fees. Champion, it's time for some new energy. And by Toyota. Let's go places. We're going to the 5th inning. Astros will have Martin Maldonado leading off, followed by the man of the hour, Jose Altuve, who's going to try to do something that has never been done in Major League Baseball history, and that's hit a home run in 5 consecutive at-bats. He has 4 straight and 5 in his last 6 at-bats. Maldonado hit a home run his last time up. It goes down on strikes here as Dane Dunning picks up his first strikeout.
The Shiner spotlight falls on, well, who else? Jose Altuve, 11th player since 1974 with 5 home runs in 6 at-bats. And he could actually set a record with one right here. Just absolutely amazing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Jose Abreu, the last to have 5 home runs in a 6 at-bat span. Altuve takes a strike. It's 0-1. Now he goes after the next one down and in, and Dunning ahead 0-2. puts it in play. It's not going to be a home run. It's going to be a ground ball to third. Duran retires Altuve for the first time tonight. And Altuve's string of 7 consecutive hits, with 5 of them being home runs, comes to an end.
Yeah, a little over aggressive on that at bat. And that's one of the things we really haven't seen him do coming off of the IL, is take those big off-balance swings. But 4 home runs in a row, I mean, why not? Let it fly.
Hard to argue. Curveball fouled back from Pena. It's 0-1. Jeremy having a nice night, 2 for 3. Everybody having a nice night not named Altuve is going to be overshadowed tonight. But Pena 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking that if you sat and watched batting practice, there's probably not very many guys. There'd be a few that actually hit 4 home runs in a row in batting practice.
Yeah. And then 5 and 6 at bats.
Wow.
Altuve finally retired. 0-2 the count on Pena. He takes one off the plate for a ball. 1-2. Jeremy, during his last 23 games, is now 31 for 86. He has improved his batting average over 20 points during that time. It's gone from 241 to its current spot of 262. As he hits this ball high in the air to right field, playable for Adolis Garcia. Dane Dunning, to his credit, after giving up that 3rd home run to Altuve, has now settled in and only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk since over 3 innings. Foundation charity game takes place on Tuesday, September the 12th. It'll be 1 week from tonight. Get signed memorabilia, tickets to an Astros game, exclusive merchandise, and in-person only pre-sale begins during the game on Friday, September the 8th. Get your tickets for each game now at astros.com/charity game. A lot going on this next homestand. Astros return home after the game tomorrow night. They'll have an off day on Thursday. That's their standard for the month of September. Every Thursday is off. Then they'll take on the Padres for 3. And they'll continue on with that homestand with the Oakland A's coming into town for 3. Astros making a statement here in Arlington. 13 runs last night, 9 more runs tonight. A Lone Star series, which this is as big a series as there's been between these two teams in a long time.
Oh, easily. And it's one of those things, Astros fans, all of us, we've been so spoiled because the Astros have kind of just run away with the division. It's seemingly every year. But this is how baseball is supposed to be. I mean, there's supposed to be stress in September. You know, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Start scoreboard watching. I love the fact that Dusty was saying how, yeah, he scoreboard watches all year. He wants to know what everybody's doing all the time.
We're watching that Seattle-Cincinnati game. It's now in the bottom of the 8th inning. Reds are batting down 6-3. Fromber, who was not thrilled with himself with a walk in the 3rd inning, will not be thrilled with a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. That's the 2nd walk allowed by Valdez. As he walks Robbie Grossman. Here are the scores of interest. Red Sox started the night just 4.5 games out after they got swept by the Astros. A lot of people thought they may have been heading in the wrong direction, but they've rebounded nicely. They won the first game of that series in Tampa Bay. Seattle leading the Reds 6-3. We'll follow that Blue Jays game as well. I know Rangers fans are going to be interested in that Blue Jays game tonight in Oakland, because the Rangers have gone from leading the AL West for most of the year up until the last couple of weeks to tonight. If the Blue Jays win in Oakland and the Rangers don't come back from 9 runs down, the Rangers will be on the outside looking in at a playoff spot. This ball is taken by Bregman as he goes to Altuve for the force. Pena was waiting for it, and Bregman literally cut right in front of him and took the play and got the force at second.
Yeah, that's not Alex being a ball hog. That's actually what he's supposed to do. Because to tell you the truth, I'm not sure if Pena is going to get the runner at first base. But you know, he's already going to second base. Altuve with the quick turn, not able to get the runner at first, but just a nice job of ranging to his left and then the quick, almost shuttle throw over to Jose Altuve at second.
Pitch down for a ball, 1-0. Ezekiel Duran grounded out his first time up. Frommer tonight has allowed 2 singles and 2 walks through 4 1/3 innings. This ball into center field. Mauricio Dubon will make the play. That's out number 2. Now a message from TXU Energy. Frommer wants a new baseball here with 2 outs and a runner on as he faces a 9-hitter Leody Taveras. Frommer with his pitch count in good order tonight. About to make his 60th pitch, trying to get through the 5th inning. Ground ball right side. Altuve was playing up the middle, so that right side was wide open. And Taveras will have himself a base hit. 3rd hit of the night for the Rangers, all singles.
It almost looked like Taveras was trying to do that. Seeing that open hole with Altuve playing up the middle. Because what they need right now offensively is they just need base runners.
They turn it over to the top of the order. Marcus Semien is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Takes that first pitch down 1-0.
Frommer looks like he's tried to slow down a little bit. His tempo isn't quite as brisk as it has been in previous innings. So you can tell he's trying to keep that focus and keep himself in this ballgame as long as possible.
That ball towards left field, and they'll be down for a hit. The Rangers will have their first run of the night. Throw to third, and it's close, but sliding in safely is Taveras. It'll be 1st and 3rd with the Rangers scoring their first run. It's now a 9-1 game. So Espada checking to see if that play at 3rd needs to be reviewed, and they say go ahead and keep playing.
Yeah, you can see that's supposed to be a 2-seam fastball. It's supposed to be away, but he pulls it onto the plate, and that's why the Taveras at bat was so important. You turned over that lineup to get the big boys at the top of the lineup up to bat with runners in scoring position, runners on base.
A little meeting at the mound with Maldonado, Abreu, and Frommer having a conversation. It's not Corey Seager batting. Josh Smith has taken over in that 2 spot and playing shortstop. So Seager, who struck out twice tonight against Frommer Valdez, out of the game. Instead, it's Josh Smith, who played 3rd base the last 2 nights and playing shortstop now in place of Seager. Smith does not have a lot of at-bats against lefties this year, just 2 for 13 against lefties. Sends this one to Altuve, and Jose makes the play to end the inning. But the Rangers get on the board for the first time. A couple of hits and a walk. It's 9-1 after 5. Astros wrapping up the Lone Star Series for 2023 last night with a victory, winning for the 7th time this year against 4 defeats. And out in front tonight in a big way, 9-1 as they bat here in the 6th inning. They're still facing the same pitcher. Dane Dunning has been going the rest of the way since Nathan Eovaldi went an inning and a 1/3.
Yeah, there may be people out there going, wait, hold on, that's only 13 games. With the new balanced schedule, your divisional opponents, you're only playing 13 times instead of 19 times, with everybody playing every other team in Major League Baseball.
We have a development going on in Cincinnati right now with the Mariners leading that game 6-3 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. As Yordan Alvarez takes a pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Yordan is 1 for 3 tonight, and now takes one at the bottom of the zone for a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, it looks like Cincinnati's got ducks on the pond. Ooh, they just tied it up.
They have tied it up in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Cincinnati Reds fighting back against the Mariners tonight.
It's a tough team. That is a good, talented team. We got to see them. Actually, we got to see them when they were hot.
A bottom of the 8th home run with 2 on. A pinch hit 3-run home run by Nick Martini has tied that game at 6. And Mike, if the Reds were able to win that game and the Astros win the game tonight in Arlington for the first time all year.
Don't say it. Okay, say
September 5th. For the first time all year, the Astros could find themselves in sole possession of first place.
Wow.
They've been tied. They've been percentage points behind. They have never had first place by themselves, but it's possible. Obviously a tie game. A lot of baseball left in Cincinnati, and still 4 innings here. You don't want to count the game over yet, but it's looking pretty good so far for the Astros. It's Yordan Alvarez skies one to center. That's been kind of his thing here since an opening hit. 3 straight flyouts to center.
The Lone Star Series is presented by TXU Energy. And you can see how the Astros have really taken care of business against their opponents to the north. 11-3 Astros are against the Texas Rangers. That's since last season. So they've done such a good job. Even though the Rangers have been a first-place team, the Astros have taken care of business against a team they've been chasing all season.
Alex Bregman taking a strike. Perfectly placed pitch. Dane Dunning has pitched better.
Yeah, I think coming in from the bullpen, I think we had said that he had 21 consecutive starts. You know, warming up in the bullpen in the first inning, maybe coming in with guys on base. It just changes your whole approach. I remember John Smoltz, I think it was 1993, John Smoltz came down in the playoffs against the Philadelphia Phillies. And he hadn't relieved at all. Now he turns into one of the best closers, and actually it's one of the things that puts him in the Hall of Fame was the fact that he had 200 wins and then had 200 saves or something like that. He was visibly shaking warming up in the pen because the adrenaline just gets so high. And he actually told us after the game, he goes, you know that relieving stuff? You guys can keep it.
Really?
Yeah.
Before he went on to have a great career as a reliever.
Well, he blows out his elbow.
Right.
And then he comes back from Tommy John. They make him a closer, and he was, oh my gosh, just incredibly filthy as a closer.
3-2 pitch to Bregman is a called strike. Alex thought that was low. Stu Sherwater calls him out on strikes. Alex usually doesn't argue unless he feels like he was right. That one might have.
We haven't seen it yet. But if Alex says it's a ball, it's usually a ball.
Yeah, that's definitely below the zone. All right, let's get back to our Social Tuesday here. We got some more questions for you. Although with 2 outs, we'll have to be careful as Tuck bats. Tuck pops one foul. That's going to end up in the stands, I think. Yep. Let's see. Did you have any pregame rituals before you got into a game that you knew you might pitch in?
Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Every game?
Every game.
Really?
Yeah.
For 1,000 games?
Well, I can't say I ate 1,000 peanut butter jelly sandwiches. But, yeah, that was kind of my pregame meal, just to, because I didn't want to have anything too heavy. Come in from BP, maybe take a shower, put your uniform on, and PB&J, baby, all day long.
I'll ask a quick one here, although 2 strikes, 2 outs. What's a backdoor pitch? Jay Montana wants to know that.
Okay, backdoor means away from the hitter. So if you're a left-handed hitter, if Dunning throws a breaking ball
on the outside corner.
So you see that location, if that was a breaking ball, then that would be considered backdoor.
That starts off the plate.
And breaks onto the plate. If you go down and into if he goes down and into Tucker, now that's front door, or also called back leg.
There's a swing and a miss as Dunning strikes out Bregman and Tucker to end the inning. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Astros 9, Rangers 1. Time now to name that Astro, powered by Reliant. Here are tonight's clues. Quite the debut. Dominant in the 70s and the only member of the club. If you know who that Astro is, powered by Reliant, send your guesses to @ATT Sportsnet SW.
Before you ask, I have no idea. I am the all-time worst. I think I've got, in all the years that we've been doing this, I think I've gotten like 4.
Really? like orbit with the silhouette with the.
Well, that's one of the things that'll give it away for sure.
Here's Nathaniel Lowe leading off, taking a pitch.
Who was it? Had Glenn Davis a couple weeks ago. I got that one right off.
You got Glenn Davis?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Another 27 and hit some bombs. Lowe with a 2-0 count. Fromber has walked a couple tonight. The walk kind of led to a run last inning because a fielder's choice would come around to score after the leadoff walk, and now he's 3-0 here to lead off this inning to Lowe. Fromber trying to stay locked in here in a 9-1 game. Astros out hitting the Rangers 12-4. And that picks up part of the plate. Lowe doesn't like that call. It's 3-1. That one's down for a ball. That'll be the second straight inning with a leadoff walk. That is not ideal in a big lead. So Lowe, who leads the team in walks, now with 79 on the year. That'll bring up Adolis Garcia. Garcia has grounded out and flied out to right.
That was better. That whole at bat against Lowe, it just seemed like Fromber was just trying to place the ball instead of throw it. And when you do that as a pitcher, you know, you're used to throwing with one intensity, one effort, and that's usually hard. And when you back off, a lot of times you just really can't tell where the ball's going.
That ball hit hard to center field. Dubon backing up, makes the catch over his shoulder. That was hit very well by Garcia, but he lines out for the first out of the sixth inning.
This is why Dubon's out there. This ball hit very well. Gets a good jump. Carries on him just a little bit. You saw him have to make a move to his left. But Dubon's got such great instincts out in the outfield. Really anywhere you put him. And it's one of the biggest values you have for Mauricio Dubon is the simple fact that you can kind of put him anywhere and he's at least average, if not a little bit above.
Hey, he's had a very good defensive season. I think second base has been his best position this year, but he's played second, short, outfield. Here's Mitch Garver. Garver takes one down for a ball, 1-1. So this Astros Rangers series, just a quick 3-game set here, and the Astros return right back home after playing a 3-game homestand against the Yankees. Yankees, by the way, continue their winning ways, winning their 4th in a row tonight, defeating the Detroit Tigers at Yankee Stadium. Actually, that game's still going on, just about to finish. It's now a final, 5-1 the final. But tomorrow, you've got Fromber tonight against Nathan Eovaldi, who's coming off the IL. Tomorrow, we have a pitching matchup of the ages, huh? Max Scherzer against Justin Verlander.
Battle of the Hall of Famers.
It's rare you can say that definitively, that these two guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame.
They're both going to be first ballot. I mean, JV has been nothing short of spectacular in an Astros uniform, and Max Scherzer really turned it around. He threw the ball pretty well as a Met before the trade, but he's been next to unhittable for the Texas Rangers.
That's the pitching matchup tomorrow. Fromber losing his second batter of the inning to a walk. Those two guys have never faced off against each other as opposing starting pitchers.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Just simply because, you know, Max spent all those years in the American League. But, yeah, that's going to be a special one. And on top of that, not just two first ballot Hall of Famers, former teammates earlier this season.
Yeah, and earlier in their career.
Yeah.
Crazy. This week on Astros Bases Loaded, Jose Altuve hits for the cycle. Julia will visit with Altuve and fellow Venezuelan superstar Miguel Cabrera. Plus, we'll go inside Fenway's Green Monster with the Astros rookies. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the postgame show. Julia, you talked with Justin Verlander before the game. What are his thoughts about tomorrow? We'll get back with Julia in just a little while.
Hey, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
There she is.
I think it was funny the way JV started it, saying, I just had this feeling that this would happen where we'd match up against one another, just as destiny would have it. But he said, this isn't weird, especially since we were teammates earlier on this season, because these two guys have been around so long, they know it's just nature of the business. Had a chance to happen, but he did say it is exciting when you have two guys who have careers like we do. I think it's exciting for baseball. I think it's exciting for us to go up against one another. And so many reports have been out there, comments from both of them on their time with the Mets, their time with each other. He talked about how the respect for each other has really grown, especially now. They were able to really talk some things out, started even helping each other out on just, sharing some of the things that they do to prepare and work. So it sounds like their relationship was good before they left. I haven't talked much since they went on to their teams, but JV, I think, summed it up with saying, I had a feeling that we would be here.
Yeah, crazy to hear. It's the first time they've ever matched up. And just 2 starts ago, it was Verlander against Miguel Cabrera for the final time.
Right. Yeah, pretty incredible that these two have never taken the mound in the same game. But what I took from that interview right there that Julio had with JV was that they were helping each other. You're like, well, these guys are both Hall of Famers. Yeah, you're always working. You're always trying to get better. And that was one of the great things we used to watch about Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's talking to everybody on the bench during the game. Where you got Justin Verlander, he's got game face on at probably about 9 o'clock in the morning for the night game. But Garrett wanted information from everyone. But like I said, you're always working. Roger Clemens, 7 Cy Youngs. He had things he had to work on every single day to get his delivery where he needed it to be.
2-2 pitch sent to right field. Robbie Grossman retired for the second out. They're dueling tomorrow on the mound today, dueling with sunflower seeds in their respective dugouts. Yeah, that'll be fun. We're going to have it for you right here on AT&T Sportsnet. It's going to be one of those matchups. You think back years ago, it might have been, Tom Seaver against Steve Carlton, or Bob Gibson against Sandy Koufax.
Not very many.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard matchup to come up with.
Where definitively the guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame at this point of their career. This one slowly hit towards third. Bregman's going to charge. Sam Huff pinch hitting for Jonah Heim, running down the line. And Huff is retired as a pinch hitter for the final out of the inning. 2 walks, 2 left on. We head to the 7th, 9-1.
Mobile coverage cam, and it's just Astros having fun with the sticks. Martin Maldonado with the big home run. Altuve with the historic day, hitting 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. You can see just great swings, great timing, great extension from Jose Altuve. This offense has been pretty remarkable on the road over these last 2 road trips.
It really has. They had that 5-game winning streak at the end of the last trip. Adding on to that with a win last night, scoring 13 runs. They put 9 more runs up tonight. If they win tonight, it'll be 7 straight on the road, but they need to get to 10 or 11 runs to get to their average. Their average is 10.5 runs per game during their 6-game winning streak.
So you're saying they're below average?
They're below
right
average
now.
tonight. Yeah. That's with Abreu driving in 3, Altuve driving in 3. Jose hits one to short for the 4th time today. One of them got into left field for a base hit, but the other ones have been a double play, a fielder's choice, and now a ground out. Abreu has 3 RBIs on a 2 RBI single and a fielder's choice. Since June 25th on the road, here are your Astros totals. So this is a little wider look at how well they have done away from Minute Maid Park since June 25th.
On base plus slugging, just absolutely incredible at basically 850. I'm going to give them the 2 points to get them to 850. And really not a shocker that they're all ranked first place in Major League Baseball. I mean, these numbers are incredible.
And it continues to befuddle people and us in the booth how you can explain the difference when they're at home versus on the road.
I get that question asked from Astros fans all the time, and there's a simple answer. The answer is, I don't know. If they knew, they would fix it.
That ball's down for a hit. How about Chas McCormick on base for a 3rd time? Chaz has a single, a walk, and now he slides in with a one-out double here in the 7th inning. Chaz on base 3 times tonight after he was on base 3 times last night to open up this series. Come to Minute Maid Park this Saturday when the Astros take on the San Diego Padres. 10,000 fans will receive a Hawaiian shirt courtesy of PNC. Visit astros.com/promotions to get your tickets.
Yeah, that double down the right field line from Chaz, that's the Chaz McCormick that we saw so much of last year, driving the ball to the opposite field. But I love the fact now that if you make a mistake inside, he'll turn on you and he'll drive it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, last year almost all of his home runs from June on were to right field.
I think he only hit 1 pulled home run last year.
So the Astros coming into tonight overall in the season were plus 100 in run differential. Record of 78 and 61, 17 games over 500. Mauricio Dubon bats here with an 0-2 count. And it's low for a ball, 1-2. But the crazy part is they are plus 107 coming into tonight on the road. So now plus 115.
That's incredible.
And they're -7 at home. There have only been 2 teams in the history of baseball that have been plus 100 or better on the road with a negative run differential at home. The 1908 Pirates and the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 40s. Mauricio Dubon hits this ball well, carrying over the head of Leody Taveras. That's going to score Chaz McCormick. Mauricio Dubon, a 2-hit game as he drives in the 10th run of the night.
There's your average. 10th run of the night. Mauricio Dubon, you can see the changeup. You know, just a good piece of hitting. That was not a bad pitch. But Dubon staying inside this, driving it to right center field. And Taveras had no chance. That ball got out there in a hurry.
So now a 10-1 lead as the Astros score their first run since the 3rd inning. So the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1948, the Pirates in '08, and now 115 years later, the Houston Astros. Obviously, things can change. The Astros can get on that positive side here. They still have 12 home games remaining to get that corrected. But to be in a list with only 3 other teams to this point, kind of remarkable in MLB history.
Yeah, and actually with the positive 9 tonight, that number goes up even more.
Oh, plus 116 now on the road. Martin Maldonado helped out the plus number with a 2-run home run his 2nd time up. He is 1 for 3 tonight with his 12th home run of the season. Aldi made it an 8-0 game with that home run in the 3rd. Aldi last year set his career high in home runs with 15. He's had a season of 15, 14, and 12, and right now tying his 3rd highest total with 12 this year. That pitch in for a ball, 2-2. Big news from Great American Ballpark. Big news coming.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Reds scored 3 in the 8th inning on a pinch hit 3-run home run by Nick Martini. And they have just walked off the Seattle Mariners in the bottom half of the 9th inning to win the game 7-6. The Reds have defeated the Mariners. For now, the Astros are a half game in front in the AL West. And if they hold on to this 10-1 lead, they will be in first place by themselves for the first time all year. Maldi, and another Maldi. 2-home run game for the Machete. A dozen runs for the Astros. Martin Maldonado. One night after Dubon and Altuve hit 2 home runs, gets 2 of his own.
I'm going to say this is a perfect swing for Martin Maldonado. He gets a cutter out over the plate and hits an opposite field home run. He does not hit very many balls to the opposite field, but what a great game by Martin Maldonado.
Now the guy who has 3 home runs. How about the 9-1 hitters? Last night they went back-to-back twice. Tonight they've combined for 5 home runs, including back-to-back in the 3rd inning. It's never happened before in Major League history.
Right.
It happened last night, and it could happen again tonight.
Incredible.
If Altuve can hit his 4th home run of the game, the 9-1 hitters will go back-to-back for the 2nd straight night in the same city by the same team after it never happening before in Major League history. But Altuve goes down swinging. Terrible night for Altuve. I'm kidding. 3 for 5 now for Altuve with 3 home runs. How about Maldi?
Dane Dunning makes a mistake with a cutter. Actually, that's not much of a mistake. But look at that swing. Staying on top of the ball, creating the backspin, and this ball just carrying like crazy.
Well, Pena bats for a 5th time. You wonder at what point, as the Rangers have taken some of their starters out of the game, Jonah Heim out of the game, Corey Seager out of the game, you wonder when Dusty Baker is going to think about giving his guys the rest of the night off.
So Martin Maldonado, 101.3 miles an hour off the bat, 34-degree launch angle, 373 feet straight away right.
Maldi's 5th multi-home run game of his career. Driving in 4. That is 1 off his career high. Jeremy Pena has a 2 for 4 night going. And make it a 3 for 5 night. JP 3 getting it done. 5 hits in this series. He's a 2-out base runner. Time for a word from Gallery Furniture.
Fast, easy, convenient. Gallery Furniture delivers your made in America furniture free today.
Bruce Bochy coming out. He let Dane Dunning go as far as he could. Dunning was cruising along after the 3rd home run by Altuve. Pitched very well the rest of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, but kind of hit a wall here in the 7th, and that will be the end of his night. So we'll have a pitching change here. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Astros leading 12-1. 12-1 game. Astros lead in the 7th inning. The Rangers made a couple of roster moves before the game. Nathan Eovaldi activated off the 15-day IL, and Ian Kennedy has returned to the Rangers.
38-year-old Ian Kennedy, right-hander. Been around a long time. Going to throw a whole bunch of fastballs and then a split-finger changeup.
17-year MLB veteran.
Wow.
The Rangers.
And just came up from AAA.
Yeah, that's right. He was at Round Rock. It's been an interesting season for him. He was DFA'd by the Rangers on May 11th after appearing in 11 games for Texas. And then he cleared waivers, elected to be a free agent at that point, but then he re-signed with the Rangers a month later on June 13th and then spent the rest of the season at Round Rock. Now here he is back at the big league level, and Jordan greets him with a ball crushed into the bullpen. 44 drills a 2-run home run, and the Astros continue to pound the Rangers tonight. It is 14-1. That is home run number 24 for the big man. RBI 78 and 79. As he hits his first home run of the series and drives in his first runs of the series as well.
Ian Kennedy supposed to be a fastball up. Throws a fastball down, and that is right in Jordan's wheelhouse. And this was not a majestic home run. This was just a line drive off the State Farm wall in the Rangers bullpen in right center field. Just an absolute laser.
Astros fans that are here do not like a hit by pitch in a 14-1 game. It was a slider that caught Bregman, so he'll go to first base here.
All right, this one by Jordan. 109, 23-degree launch angle, 442. in the distance.
4.42, and he made it look easy.
Yeah, that was just like a line drive up the middle.
Last night, the 453-foot home run by Yainer Diaz was the longest by far of his career. Now we're going to start to see some of the starters get the rest of the night off, as Jake Myers is the first one off the bench. You've got Myers, Kessinger, Ray Kessinger, John Singleton, Yainer Diaz to choose from. You probably wouldn't see Michael Brantley coming in a game like this, but those other four could be in play tonight. Singleton's on deck as Myers goes after the first pitch and sends one to center field. That'll be the final out of the inning. The Astros with 2 home runs in the inning, adding 5 more runs to the total. They now lead this game 14-1. We'll add it all up back in our Rooms to Go lounge as we check in with Esh and Bogey.
Takes place on September 12th. Charity game backs include signed memorabilia, tickets to Astros games, and exclusive merchandise. Visit the online auction beginning September 5th for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and merchandise. Visit astros.com/charitygame for more details. Quick update, Ryan Stanek was in the clubhouse earlier today. It was good to see him in there after a scary moment in yesterday's game. He left after covering first, twisted his ankle pretty awkwardly and was in a ton of pain. They're calling it a right ankle sprain, guys. He will have some more imaging done tomorrow. Needs to get back to Houston before he can really set a good timeline. But he said, I'm just really glad that it wasn't broken. It was better than he expected, which is good news to get.
Yeah, Julia, he wasn't the only one that thought it might have been season ending.
I was in that boat. You know, usually when you roll your ankle, you roll it outside. That actually rolled in. And then he took another step on it, and it kind of rolled in again. So I was didn't want to speculate, but I did not have any warm, fuzzy feelings about that.
Great to see Ryan Stanek before the game in good spirits. You heard Julia's update on him, so hopefully we'll see Ryan in a few weeks. You saw Joel Kuhnel warming up. This will be the last inning for Framber Valdez. He's at the point of this game. It's 14-1. He's thrown 82 pitches coming into this inning. You really don't want to stretch him too far.
No, it's been pretty interesting to see what his pitch selection is. We don't see this from Framber very often, but it's because the Astros have scored crooked numbers in 4 of the 7 innings. He's thrown 63% fastballs.
Okay.
Which he doesn't usually do that. And he's spread out the rest. Going into the 6th inning, he hadn't had double digits in any other pitch. So he hadn't thrown 10 of any other pitches, but yeah.
So he's just throwing the fastball in there, trying to let it ride, sink down in the ground, and see what they
throw
can
the 2-seamer, let them beat it into the ground for quick outs.
Kind of like that. Although that one goes foul. Yodi Taveras batting here is 1 for 2 tonight.
And this is one of those times that Framber is actually pitching to the scoreboard. Doesn't happen very often, but you know he's only had a few strikeouts. He's walked a few guys. But really there hasn't been any danger or any stressful pitches almost at all.
Baseball is such an incredible game, and it's the best reality TV that's ever been made, because you go through so many peaks and valleys during the course of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost have to always remind fans and even yourself that there are going to be great moments of elation where you feel like your team can't be beat, and there's going to be times when you feel like your team can't win a game. This team went on that last road trip, won 5 in a row, swept the Red Sox, came home and got beat up by the Yankees in 3 games.
Destroyed the Red Sox, especially offensively.
Yeah.
And then they go back home and
can't score.
You know, the Yankees just
didn't score a run on their bullpen. This ball is going to be down for a hit. So Leody Taveras has himself a second hit tonight. He'll be a 1-out base runner here in the 7th. And now they come into Texas and they have a chance to be in first place all by themselves if they win tonight, with the Mariners losing 2 in Cincinnati. Time to reveal tonight's Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. Tonight's clues: quite the debut, dominant in the 70s, and the only member of the club.
Did you have any idea?
JR.
Oh, who else?
Only Astro ever with 2 300 strikeout seasons. Made his major league debut on this date in 1971. And his debut was a CG with 15 punch.
You talk to hitters that faced the Astros back then, he was the guy that scared you the worst. It wasn't Nolan Ryan. It wasn't some of the other guys. It's because he didn't really always know where the ball was going, and he was throwing, if it wasn't 100, it was right at 100 miles an hour.
That ball hit sharply past Pena. That's going to be a base hit by Marcus Semien. Semien's on base for the 3rd straight time. A couple of hits and a walk. Fromber's in the low 90s with his pitch count. Joel Kuhnel's been warming up. You'll have Fromber face the lefty Corey Seager and then probably the lefty Nathaniel Lowe. And if he's not out of the inning by then, that might be the end of the night for Fromber. Excuse me, the lefty Josh Smith, who's taken over for Corey Seager. Smith grounded out his last time up. Seager went 0 for 2 and was lifted after the 3rd inning. Fromber trying to get through 7 innings. Hasn't thrown 100 pitches in a start, except for one time in the month of August. So once in his last 8 starts has he thrown 100 pitches. He's at 94 tonight. 1-1 the count. Yeah, it's a crazy game. You never know how it's going to play out, but for some reason the Astros offense has played on the road. They came in averaging 10.5 runs during the 6-game road winning streak. They moved that up with a 14-run game so far with 2 at-bats to go. Swing and a miss. Smith with a count of 1-2. By the way, the Astros have made a bunch of changes. Greg Kessinger is in for Jose Altuve at second base. Jake Myers is in left field. Chas McCormick has moved to right, taking Tucker out of the game. John Singleton's at first base, taking Jose Abreu out of the game. Swing and a miss. Smith can't go anywhere with a runner on first. Maldi covering it up to make sure the runner doesn't come down from 3rd.
We don't see that too often from Fromber. That was a left-on-left changeup.
How about that?
Maybe another positive thing for a game that's out of hand. Usually we see breaking balls. Yeah, that was 90-mile-an-hour changeup, and you see hitter was way out in front.
Nathaniel Lowe taking that first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
So Fromber has changed one of his pitches. Early in the season, he was throwing something that he calls a cutter, but he was throwing it just a little bit harder than his curveball, and I think he got in trouble with it.
Into center field. Fromber is going to get through 7 innings with 98 pitches tonight. Fromber Valdez, 7 innings, 6 hit, 1-run baseball. Out in front big, 14-1 as Fromber bounces back with a good outing against the Rangers after a tough one last time against Texas.
From today's Chevy Straw Poll, we were asking you which Astros up-and-comer most likely to have the biggest postseason impact. And Yainer Diaz gets 60% of the vote. A lot of people impressed with Yainer and what he's done lately. You know what Yainer said yesterday in post-game after hitting a big home run in this game? He talked about how after the sweep to the Rangers, there was a couple of veterans that stood up once again speaking out on their play and what they wanted to see. So this team doing that a few times now, TK, really showing a lot of leadership in that clubhouse.
Yeah, tough weekend against the Yankees, and then they bounce back here and looking like they might get the first 2 against the Rangers in this series. But Yainer hitting one 453 into the second deck in left center field, by far his longest home run of his career.
Yeah, he's been so impressive. I mean, whether it's driving the ball to the opposite field, pulling the ball for big power, just getting base hits with runners in scoring position. I mean, we knew he could hit. We'd seen the minor league numbers and everything, but he's been very impressive with some of the adjustments he's had to make.
John Singleton with a single in his first at bat. He came on defensively last inning for Jose Abreu and led off this inning with a base hit to right. New right fielder for the Rangers is J.P. Martinez. Travis Jankowski has taken over and left. So 4 starters for the Rangers are out of the game. Astros have 3 of their starters out of the game. We're not sure if Yainer will play tonight or not, but he looked pretty relaxed on the bench. But Yainer getting to 21 home runs. He is right amongst the leaders in the American League in home runs per plate appearance since May 31st. He is one of the top in all the American League.
Yeah, we heard he had a conversation with his family back at home that he wanted to hit 20 home runs. He didn't set the bar high enough.
Who knew? Who knew Yiner could have 21 and not getting a chance to play on an everyday basis and still having a monster season as Chas McCormick down in the count 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's been really fun to watch. You know, if you remember early in the season, he was a wild swinger. I mean, he swung at pitches really all over the place, including over his head. He's really kind of honed that in a little bit. And I think he's also made a big adjustment behind the plate, and really a learning year for him with Martin Maldonado kind of putting him under his wing and helping him out.
Ian Kennedy still out there for the Rangers. He allowed a home run to Yordan Alvarez. Not sure if that will be Alvarez's last at bat. The DH, you can never tell if he's still in the game or not. Chas has been on base 3 times tonight. Chas has a single, a walk, and a double. Scored a run last time up, has knocked in a run his first time up. And he goes after that pitch. That'll be strikeout. Out number 1 here in the 8th. Now a word from Jack in the Box.
Classic Sourdough Jack. It's named after your 2 favorite things, sourdough and me. Only at Jack.
So to finish that thought, I was at the end of the last half inning with Fromber.
Yep.
His cutter, you know, he was throwing it. It was a slider. It's almost a reshaped curveball. He's actually gained about 5 miles an hour on that pitch. He's actually turned it. You have to remember, cutter is slang for cut fastball. And he's actually turned his into a cut fastball. Now he's throwing it about 90 miles an hour, and it's much more effective in my opinion.
Fromber going 7 innings of 1-run baseball tonight. His night's over after 98 pitches. Joel Kuhnel still warming in the Astros pen. Julia mentioned Ryan Stanek. Good news on Stanek that it's not as serious as it initially looked, but he does go on the IL, and Parker Mashinsky is added to the active roster. So Mashinsky, the lefty, is now in that bullpen for the Astros. Here's Mauricio Dubon, a little floater beyond first, backing up is Simeon. He'll make the catch. Simeon plays pretty much every inning of every game for the Rangers, and there's 2 outs. It is a Social Tuesday presented by Champion Energy. Fernando wants to know, Mike, how does this Astros dynasty rank amongst the Yankee teams that you played for?
You know, drastically different teams, but also there are a lot of similarities. You know, good pitching, good bullpen, you know, clutch hitting. You know, one of the things that the Yankees did back then, they kind of got notorious for wearing out starting pitchers. And we've seen the Astros do the same thing, beating up on bullpens, you know, late in games. So, you know, it's hard to compare teams sometimes, but there are a lot of similarities that they all have. And most of the time it's good pitching, good defense, timely hitting.
You're going to see a bunch of your buddies from the 98 team soon.
I am going this weekend. My first old timers game.
How about that? Going to Yankee Stadium?
Going to Yankee Stadium. We're not playing a game, which I was a little upset about. You know, I've been hitting, I've been pitching. I was going deep. I was hitting the ball in the upper tank. But yeah, it'll be my first time back, and there's another guy that'll be his first time back. He used to play shortstop.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, that guy. Number 3.
That'll be pretty cool. Number 2.
Number 2. What did I say? Number 3?
Yeah.
Number 2.
You're just crossing the Astros and Yankees parallels right there.
Right.
3 shortstop is paying you.
Right.
So that'll be cool. So you're heading back this weekend, 98 reunion, 25-year reunion of your 98.
Yeah, so there's going to be some kind of celebration on the field.
Okay.
Arguably, and I will say arguably, one of the best teams to ever take the field.
Swing and a miss. Maldonado goes down on strikes. 1 hit, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Joel Kuhnel will have the bottom half of the 8th inning in a 14-1 game.
Game set beginning this Friday, the 8th. Get your tickets and see Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, and the Astros take on Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and the Padres. Tickets are available at astros.com/SGT. A Crawford Bach call to the bullpen. Joel Kuhnel making his 6th appearance of the season. Last time out through a shutout inning. You see the lofty ERA, but you know, pretty good stuff Got a heavy sinking fastball, a little crossfire delivery. Just looking for some quick outs, get this game over. Jordan Alvarez to get Framber Valdez his win.
Framber leaving after 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run baseball, walked 4, struck out 4 through 98 pitches. If Dusty had his druthers, he'd like to see Kunal get the final 6 outs tonight. As he faces J.P. Martinez getting his first at bat. He took over for Dolis Garcia in right field. And Kunal misses wide for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, Kunal's got a big fastball. He's throwing in the mid-90s. He's got some run to it. He's got a little bit of deception. You see how he turns away from the hitter.
This will be popped up to Alex Bregman. That'll be out number 1 here in the 8th.
But we've seen him have a little bit of trouble on occasion with command of the strike zone.
Astros got Kunal from the Cincinnati Reds on June 17th of this year. He appeared a couple of times out of the Reds bullpen, and his former team helping out the Astros tonight with a walk-off win against the Mariners. And now,
yeah, he'll have to get in the clubhouse and send out a few thank you texts to his old Red teammates.
That ball hit up the middle for a base hit. Austin Hedges hitting for the first time. Hedges pinch hitting for the designated hitter Mitch Garver. A 1-out base runner. Let's take a look at the Indeed player resume of one Rafael Montero. Montero, who signed an extension this offseason, came out of the gates and was really struggling his first 33 games. It wasn't until late June and his last 25 games from late June on that things have turned around for Montero. It's almost 2 completely different pitchers, first 33 to the last 25.
It's really been remarkable to see him do that, because usually when a pitcher struggles as bad as Montero has, it's next to impossible to turn around in season. But I really haven't seen anything. He's not doing anything different.
Oh, nice pick by Gray Kessinger. That was a rocket shot. And Gray showing good hands over there at second base, picking that one to start the double play. JP waiting for him to slap him 5. Nicely done, Gray.
Methodist taking a look at Jeremy Pena and where he ranks amongst shortstops since August 1st. You've been watching, you've been seeing Jeremy Pena heat up at the plate, so you see these numbers and where he ranks in terms of these shortstops. Very, very good. He's feeling so good. He's been a lot of fun to watch. You can tell he's having a lot of fun out there too. Everything kind of coming together. It's been an up and down year in the second full season for Jeremy Pena, but he did tell me that just physically he feels really good. If you remember this time last year, one of the storylines was how was Jeremy Pena going to be down the stretch, given it was the longest he's played in a season. The first real September in the big leagues is always a challenge for some guys, but he said knowing what it takes to get through a postseason, he obviously did well in the entire postseason, I should say there. But he said he went about it a little differently this time around, really taking care of his body, just feels really strong, plans on finishing strong once again today.
Yeah, and we saw that bat in the on-deck circle looks very similar to the one you held up earlier tonight, Julia. Mauricio Dubon better order some more bats. We have a position player pitching for the second straight night. Gray Kessinger is going to loop a base hit into right field, so Gray gets a base hit right after he made that fine defensive play to end the 8th inning, and a big smile on his face. Never easy to hit against a position player because you're expected to do something.
Right. Yeah, it's actually a no-win situation, because if you get the base hit, well, it's off a position player. If he ever gets you out, you'll never hear the end of it, especially a strikeout.
So Austin Hedges pitching for the second straight night and the 3rd time in his Rangers career. Pena trying to leave the yard but got under one. The Mauricio Dubon magic bat doesn't work on this fly ball to left. Jankowski makes the catch for the first out. Time for a word from Coors Light.
Houston fans, Coors Light is keeping Texas chill all season long. The world's most refreshing beer is made to chill.
Jordan's going to hit for a 6th time tonight. Jordan faced Austin Hedges last night and flied out to left. Pena faced Hedges last night and flied out to right. Jordan does have a couple of career home runs against position players. And this one into right center field, falling quickly, and it's going to be down for a hit. Kessinger just taking the courtesy 90 feet at this point. They'll be first and second with 1 out. Time for our final Social Tuesday, presented by Champion Energy. We thank everybody who used the hashtag Astros Tuesday at ATT Sportsnet SW. So the question, I just lost it. I had it for you a second ago. Here's Alex Bregman batting. Captain Fireball at Biggest Texan Fan wants to know, with Altuve's incredible night tonight and these last two games, what has been your most impressive feat you have seen personally, Mike Stanton, ever at a ballpark?
That's a tough one. I've seen a lot of great baseball, but I'd have to say the two perfect games.
We're going to have to hold this. We're going to have to hold this. Save that thought.
Got it.
Save that thought, because that's not fair to give you a question with 5 seconds to answer. 14-1. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Sportsnet is presented by TXU Energy. Houston Astros baseball is presented by Lock Solutions, H-Town's favorite precast concrete provider. Lock, leading precast. And by Saltese Beer Salt Strips. Peel it, stick it, lick it. Shop saltese.com. Sam Huff batting for the second time. He took over for Jonah Heim tonight behind the plate. Joel Kuhnel in his second inning of work, trying to get the final 3 outs in this 14-1 game. Misses wide, it's 1-1. So, Mike, we were rudely interrupted there by the double play to end the inning. Well, what is your most incredible feat, or most incredible feats you have seen, or memorable feats you have seen at a major league ballpark?
Well, I've seen a lot of incredible things, but I would have to say the two Davids throwing perfect games.
Okay.
David Wells and David Cone. David Wells, a lot of people know the story. But David Cone, it was really probably David Cone's last really good game he pitched. And just to see his face afterwards, he puts both hands on his head, and he's just in shock. He couldn't believe he had just done what he did. So it was probably the two perfect games.
Perfect games are good ones. Boomer, Wells, and Coney. We just saw Coney last weekend. Still does games.
Yeah, went in and say hello.
So thanks to everybody who participated tonight in our Social Tuesday. You sent in your questions. Sorry we couldn't get to them all, but we got to a bunch. Here's Ezekiel Duran. Duran fouls one away, 0-1. The Rangers at one point led the American League West by 6.5 games. They had a 6.5 game lead on June the 23rd. That is the biggest deficit the Astros had this year. The Astros tonight 2 outs away from moving into sole possession of first place in the AL West for the first time this year. And tomorrow's game is a big one. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, they'll bring the 2023 Lone Star Series to a close tomorrow night. Our coverage will begin at 6:30 with our Astros pregame show presented by Toyota, only on AT&T Sports, and I am really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, chances are it's going to be a little bit different game than we've seen tonight. Astros 14 runs on 20 hits.
Crazy night of offense. 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third. Jose Altuve hitting a home run in all 3 of those innings. By the way, we didn't even give you one of the Altuve notes tonight. Sarah Lang's sending out a post that says Altuve is the 3rd player ever to hit a home run in each of the first 3 innings of a game. Manny Machado did it in 2016. He would have been an Oriole back then, and then Carl Reynolds did so in 1930.
Wow.
Altuve, the 3rd player ever. Here's Leody Taveras. He has a couple of hits tonight. And he's bidding for a 3rd. Dubon is going to make a diving catch and steal one from the opposing center fielder. Dubon thought about playing that on a hop, and then that ball kept carrying, and he went for it and made a fine defensive play. Some good glove work here in a lopsided game the last couple of innings.
This was all done by his original step. He comes in, you see no alteration in his direction that he was running, and you see the concentration. Nice catch. Center fielder on center fielder crime.
I like it. Well, Marcus Semien batting for a 5th time. He has a couple of hits and a walk his last 3 times up, officially 2 for 3. Mariners losing tonight 7-6 to the Cincinnati Reds, who scored 3 in the 8th and then walked it off in the 9th. And the Astros trying to move into first place by themselves for the first time all year on September 5th. It's been a big climb, as many as 6.5 games back, trailing the Rangers almost the entire season until just recently when the Mariners took the lead. That one's down 1-2. Little tapper. Kuno quickly off the mound, will glove and throw, and it's low, but caught by Singleton, and the Astros win it 14-1. Welcome to first place Houston Astros for the first time in 2023. All by themselves for the first time this year.
Just an incredible run the Astros have been on, especially on the road. It's been a long uphill climb, but they finally got to the top, being in first place. Still got a lot of baseball to go. This team seems to be hitting its stride.
22 games remaining. The Astros lead the Mariners by a game, the Rangers by 2 games. The Rangers are in danger of falling out of the playoff picture if the Toronto Blue Jays win in Oakland tonight. The Blue Jays will flip them for the 3rd spot in the wild card chase. Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger will feature Kevin Eschenfelder and Brian Bogusevic. They'll have a lot of highlights to talk about tonight. I have a feeling you'll hear from Jose Altuve at some point. All that coming up. Julia Morales helping out those guys with interviews. Astros postgame show coming your way next.